So welcome everyone to Coaching the Coaches. This is an online webinar hoping to increase skills used in pool lifesaving competitions in Great Britain and beyond. Some of the friends from around the world are watching into this as well. So hopefully this gives you some insight into some hints, skills, tips that you can use with your teams, your athletes, or maybe yourself. So just to start with, who am I? So my name's Sam Lawman. I'm a member of the Great Britain lifesaving team and I've been competing in lifesaving for 13 years. I've also been a member of the GBR national team since 2019 and I was captain in 2022 and 2023. I've won 4 Commonwealth titles, 1 European and 1 world title. I've been coaching since 2015 alongside racing still. And I've recently set my own club called Race Base Yorkshire, based out of Tadcaster in North Yorkshire. So, a couple of things to start. Kind of a couple of quotes really from me. I think when we're dealing with life-saving, it's much different to many other sports like swimming. There is more things that are in your control. So in terms of skills, there's no excuse for poor skills. We can practice these over and over again. We need to make sure these are nailed on. So we can't blame something like this when we swim badly. So if we swim badly, that is completely fine. If you're not feeling it on that day, that's completely fine. But your skills should always be on point. And you should practice until you dream about it. You should be visualizing. And then eventually, like me, if you're sad enough, you might be dreaming about it. All right. So, the agenda. What are we going through today? So, the first thing we're going to look at is Manikin carry techniques. The second thing we're going to look at is Manikin carry pickups. Then Manikin carry with fin pickups. Then we're going to do some Manikin toe clipping. Then we're going to look at super lifesaver transitions, or fin-ons, I like to call them. And then we're going to have a short Q&A at the end. So, feel free to take notes and jot down some questions. You can ask these at the end, or you can put them in the chat and then me and George at the end will go through these. So, first things first, Manikin carry techniques. There are many, many different ways that you can carry a Manikin, but we're going to cover 3 main ones today. These are the basics of carrying a Manikin and Manikin carry techniques. And I'm going to name these surface, underneath, and across the chest. All right, you might know them as other names, but this is what I'm going to call them on this webinar. So, first things first, we're going to look at the basics of these because we need to know what these are before we move on to the Manikin carry pickups. So the first thing we're going to do is watch this short video. Right, so on this method of carrying the Manikin, all right, the Manikin's face should be near the surface. Maybe not at the surface, but close to it, all right? The body position of the carrier is quite flat, all right, compared to other techniques we will look at next. So compared to the underneath technique, as it says in the slides. The Manikin is to the side of the body, so it's away from you. So it shouldn't really be touching you when we do this technique, all right? And there should be a little bit of tension in your arm. Otherwise, the Manikin might bobble and start kicking you. And well, you might start kicking the Manikin, or the Manikin might start coming over towards you, which you don't want. You don't want the Manikin to what I call bobble up and down and move from side to side. All right. So this technique has some pros and cons. You're quite flat in the water, so you can't extend quite as much as you would on for example, a front crawl stroke. But you can get quite a bit of good movement through your shoulder, okay? This is quite a basic technique, and this is one of the first ones you will learn when you start life-saving. So, for example, if you're coming up as a nipper, so a 12 to 14 in the RLSS, you will use a half-filled Manikin, and you will do a similar technique to this with the half-filled Manikin. So, we'll just go through that again. So, I'm near the surface. I'm getting a little bit of rotation, but not loads. And I'm kicking my legs nice and strong with a front crawl kick. Right, the next technique. This is the one that I like the best, personally, all right? But everyone is different. So the body position on this one is slightly on your side. Me personally, all right, I am very on my side, but you don't have to be this far over on your side. Okay, the mannequin is fully underneath your body or nearly fully underneath your body, depending on person to person. And the mannequin might be pinned onto your thigh, all right? So you know where the mannequin is at all times. So it can't bobble around and hit you because it's pinned against you. The face is pinned against the side of your leg, kind of on your IT band, if you know where that is. So we'll watch that one more time. Right, the last technique I'm going to show you today in terms of in detail. So we've got across the chest. I'm going to play this video first and then we're going to talk about it afterwards. So as I said earlier, I like to be quite far on my side. For this technique, okay, you can be flat on the surface, okay, like you would for the surface technique, okay, so flat, or you can be quite a bit on your side. It depends from person to person, all right? So when you are doing this technique, okay, you are getting the mannequin's face, all right, and it should be in your chest. That's why I've called it across the chest, because it's kind of into your chest. You are picking the mannequin up when we get to the pickups, okay, and we're carrying it, so your elbow is over the mannequin's shoulder and your hand is under its other armpit, all right? This technique is quite new. It's come up in the past few years, all right? This is great for some youth athletes or smaller females for the most part, all right? Most of the top guys are not using this technique, but some of the girls are, because it's easier than trying to drag the mannequin through the water. It's closer to you, and it's kind of safer in terms of picking the mannequin up. All right, so we'll play that one more time. All right, so keep those in mind when we go on to the pickups soon. So there are other techniques you can also consider. These are the main ones, all right? But we can also include other things. So you can manipulate that technique and add something to it or take something away or move the mannequin slightly. It's up to you. But they're the basis of how you should be carrying a mannequin for the most part, all right? So we can also see when we're seeing racing, you might see people using fly kicks. You might see people tilting the mannequin using its neck. And you also might see the mannequin upside down. This used to be illegal, upside down, but it's not anymore. And I've got a few examples from around the world of other people in other countries using different techniques. So first up, we've got my friend Shun from Japan. And he holds the chin or the side of the neck, and he does fly kick. And he was also kind enough to send a short video about how he does this. So we'll get onto the pickup soon, but this is how he picks the mannequin up and then tows the mannequin. There we go. And then we've got Chris Dawson from New Zealand. This is only a short video, so you're going to have to pay attention. So he's tilting the mannequin and grabbing the side of the neck, and he's doing fly kick. And then we've got world champion Jake Smith here. So he's on the right-hand side. And he's got the mannequin tilted, and he's doing fly kick too. But he does the same thing when he does front crawl kick as well. Right, and then the last one, we've got me here. I've got it underneath me, and I've got the mannequin upside down. So there are other things that you might consider, maybe not now when you're teaching your athletes, but maybe in the future, coming into the competitions this year. Right, next things coming up is mannequin carry pickups. So, again, there are many different pickups. These are the three main ones that you will see when looking at competitions around the world. These are the main ones. So someone might have found a different effective pickup, but what I found with athletes I've worked with, these are the most effective ones. So 2 of them are carrying the mannequin by the back of its neck, and 1 is for the chest, just like we've just been through. So I'm going to call these behind the neck, headlock, and across the chest, just to keep them separated so we know what they're called. So, when we are carrying a mannequin without fins on, the procedures, even if you're doing a different type of pickup, remain the same. So, all that changes here, if we are doing the different techniques, is just the style, the way or the style you pick, how you pick the mannequin up, all right? But the procedures are exactly the same, okay? Regardless of which style you do, which I'm going to show you in a second. So, we're going to watch this video, and then we're going to go through this step by step to pick apart the different things we need to do to get a real good, effective pickup. Right, I'll play that one more time for you. Right, so we're going to break this down into, I believe it's 6 steps, if I remember correctly. All right, so step number 1, which is in the picture here. We need to dive down early enough. More often than not, when I go to competitions, I see people diving down about 1 meter before the mannequin. Really not good. You will not be able to do the next steps effectively if you have dived down too late. I'd rather you dive down too early than too late. You'll be much faster doing that, all right? You should not be diving down on top of the mannequin. It's really not effective. Okay, so big red circle, there's a gap between me and the mannequin. So I've dived down with more than enough time here to pick the mannequin up effectively. Right, step 2, breaking streamline. Again, a pet peeve of mine. More often than not, I see lots of athletes kicking like a seal with their arms by the side, breaststroke kicking, doing all sorts. You should only be breaking streamline when you are right over the top of the mannequin, okay? Because that's when you're going to pick it up. It's going to be the most effective to streamline as much as you possibly can. Okay, so as you can see, I'm only just breaking streamline and I'm over the mannequin's chest. Right. Step number 3. So step number 3 and step number 4 are done in tandem. They are done at the same time. So I'm going to show you these both at the same time. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at step 3, the picture in step 3. So at this point, I am about to grab the mannequin. But the first thing I do is pop it up, which means I'll lift it a little bit so I can get a good grip on the mannequin, regardless of which one you are going to pick. So headlock, behind the neck, or across the chest. Okay, you are going to do this on all of them. So the first thing you do is pop the mannequin up. As you are popping the mannequin up, you are starting to tuck your feet underneath you, because you are going to need these to plant and set off with a good push. So you're going to tuck your feet, plant both feet, okay? I must also mention this. Your feet must be on the same side as the arm you are going to pull with, okay? Lots of people go to the wrong side, have one leg either side. That is not effective. That is going to make you slower. So in this picture, for example, I am left-handed. So my left extended arm in picture 4, all right, is out front. So I need to go to the left-hand side of the mannequin. If you are going to pull with your right hand, you're going to be on the other side. So you're going to be the right-hand side. So lefty, left-hand side, right, right-hand side. Right. Next step. I'm going to call this step Superman. You should be pointing your arm as you push off in the direction you are going to go. All right? And after that, you are going to push off and start fly kicking. So I'm just going to go back for a second. Let's just go back. One more thing to mention. So as you can see in step 3, my arm is used to stabilize me. So your arm is initially used to stabilize you, to make sure your feet can come underneath you, because that is going to help you get a real strong push off in step 5 when you are supermanning. All right, and then obviously step 6 is pushing off and fly kicking to the surface. And after that, you're going to secure the mannequin in the position you are going to carry with. So that's what ties these first two topics together. So as you can see, I'm moving my arm around so I can grab the mannequin and I can put it underneath me and pin it against my leg. All right. Right, so just quickly going over those steps again. So we're diving down early enough to grab the mannequin. We are streamlining, so we're not swimming like a seal. We grab the mannequin, okay, and we tuck and plant our feet on the floor. And remember, lefties should be on the left, righties should be on the right. Number 5, we're going to Superman, and then we're going to push off with both feet, and we're going to start fly kicking. So we're going to watch that again in full speed. Grab and push off. Beautiful. So we'll watch that one more time. Right, we've got a non-example here. So I pulled this one off. Someone posted this on the internet. So this is what you should not do. You shouldn't be swimming like a seal. You shouldn't be breaststroking. Okay, strong fly kicks down to the mannequin. So he's not got a good grip and he's not pushing off with both of his feet next to each other. Right, so behind the neck. So the first one I showed you was the headlock technique, which I'll show you again in a second. This one is slightly different because instead of headlocking it, we are going to grab the back of its neck. So we'll play that one more time. So all I've done is I've popped it up and instead of headlocking it, I've grabbed the back of its neck. And the same goes, so the headlock, I'll play it one more time for you. And our last one is across the chest. This is very, very, very similar, okay, to the headlock one. Okay, other than the fact that you are grabbing it across its back, so into your chest rather than sort of headlocking it. So it's further across your chest. Okay, so we are moving on. The next topic. I know this is moving really fast, but I want to make sure I get through all this content in time. I don't want to eat into your evenings any more than you already have. So, mannequin carry with fins pickup. Again, there are lots and lots of different techniques, and there has been for many, many years. But 2 different styles of the same pickup are being very widely used by all the international athletes and domestic athletes too. Okay, so we're going to call these choke and we're going to call these headlock. They are very, very similar, just like the pickups we've just looked at. But one of them you headlock and the other one you choke the mannequin. And I'm going to show you both of these in a second. So this is me. I am doing the headlock technique. Okay, so I'm going to show you this and then we're going to talk through this step by step. So I'm streamlining down and I'm tucking my legs and I'm pushing off the wall as hard as I can. Right, so lots to mention here. I'm going to fly through these because I'm going to talk through these individually. Okay, so first things first. You need to make sure you are going down to the mannequin early enough. So with the mannequin carry with fins, remember, we are swimming down without a mannequin, and on the way back we are swimming with the mannequin. Okay. If you can get your athletes to, they should be trying to go the full way underwater. But if they can't quite manage that yet, they should be coming up and then heading straight back down. What I see quite a lot domestically is people swim front crawl on the surface. It's ineffective, shouldn't be doing it, okay? If your athlete's going to come up, you need to try get them to go to at least 30 meters. They can come up, have a breath, maybe do one stroke, and then head straight back down. More often than not, I see lots of athletes coming up, swimming, and then heading down about 5 meters to go. It's too late. It's not going to help the procedures here. It's going to make it ineffective, and you're going to have bad skills on the wall. Okay? You should be getting back down about 15 meters to go and heading for the mannequin to pick it up. So we should also be streamlined until we see the mannequin. So no breaking of hands. Very similar to the previous one we've looked at. And the third step, all right, we're going to pull with our pulling arm. And you'll understand this when I show you the next clip. We're going to tuck our legs for step 4. We're going to plant our feet and grab the mannequin, step 5. And then we're going to push off step 6. Right. We've got a short video here of Thomas Trellecock from the GB lifesaving team. So thanks for the video. So I'm going to talk you through this very slowly. Luckily this is in slow-mo. So he's streamlining. He's going to pull with his pulling arm to help him turn. He's going to start tucking his legs and planting his feet. And then he's going to have a nice strong push off to help his underwaters on the way back. So I'm going to play that one again. Nice streamline. Start pulling with his arm. He's going to start tucking his legs. That helps his momentum. Plant his feet, and off he goes. Perfect. Right, so just going over this again. So he's clearly down with enough time because he's streamlining just before the mannequin. And he's streamlined till he's seen the mannequin, hasn't he? So as it's coming into view, he's pulling with his pulling arm that he's going to start towing the mannequin back with on the way back. He's going to start tucking his legs, and then he's going to plant his feet whilst he grabs the mannequin, and a nice strong push off. And again, he's using Superman to know where he's going. Perfect one. So again, we've got me. This is a slightly better quality video, so you can see the entire thing. So I'm at the bottom of the water. I've grabbed it and I've set back off with loads of fly kicks. So we'll play it again. Right. We've got another video. So someone else doing this in a very similar fashion from Athena Brachino. I probably butchered that. I really apologise. So we've got these girls here picking the mannequin up in the headlock fashion. And off they go. Right. So we've been through headlock. So you're literally headlocking the mannequin, as I showed earlier. This technique, you do exactly the same thing, but instead of headlocking it, okay, you choke the mannequin. Okay, you'll see what I mean when you see Harrison here. So thanks for the video that I got from his Instagram. All right, he's grabbing the bottom of the chin and near the throat. Okay, when he picks the mannequin up. Okay, a beautiful pickup there. So we'll play that again. So instead of headlocking, he's spinning round and he's grabbing the throat. So he won't be as far on his side because he's not headlocking it, but the premise stays exactly the same. And off he goes. Beautiful technique there. And then we've got Zoe Crawford, one of the ladies from New Zealand. So we'll show this one. Another excellent technique there. So as I mentioned earlier, it's exactly the same as headlock, but you just grab the throat. So it's either headlock or you're grabbing the throat. So Zoe here does a kind of a bit of both. She hasn't got it quite headlocked. She kind of grabs the face and then brings her arm round to the side. And then we've got Harrison again. And I think that's the same video that we've just seen, but from a different angle. So another great one from him. Right then, moving on again. We are on to the mannequin toe now. So specifically, clipping the mannequin, all right? So I'm gonna watch this video and then we're gonna talk through it from bit by bit to get the best way of doing this. And off I go. So we'll watch it one more time. Think about how you're going to break this down into steps. Right then, so clipping the mannequin. So first thing we do is we touch the wall, okay? And then we extend our other arm backwards. Then we're going to grab the mannequin's chin. Then we're going to move backwards. We're going to grab the middle of the tube. We're going to place the tube on the mannequin's chest whilst grabbing the clip with the other arm. And step 6, once we've secured the mannequin on the tube on the mannequin's chest, we're going to grab the other side of the tube and attach the hoop. So some of you might want to screenshot that because we're going to go over this step by step like we have the other ones. Right, so step 1. So with the circle on the far right, you can see my hand has touched the wall. So my handler isn't going to release the mannequin until I've touched that wall, all right? So I've touched and my other arm is extended because I'm going to need to grab my tube soon and I might as well have it behind me now, all right? So step 1's done. Step 2, I'm going to grab the mannequin's chin. So mistakes I see domestically, people like to grab the mannequin's stump, okay, the arm of the mannequin. Please don't do it, okay? The mannequin can go from side to side. You do not have control of the mannequin. Grab the mannequin's chin, like you would do in a proper rescue if you were rescuing someone in a pool, okay? If you were doing a touch toe, touch rescue, sorry, which you probably shouldn't do if you don't have to, okay? As you can see, my other arm is extending back and I'm gonna start moving backwards now because I need to grab the tube and secure the mannequin into it. So, step 3, I'm moving back. Another tip that I see, well, not a tip to negate things I see. People like to pull the tube, and I used to do this. Don't do it. If you pull the tube, you do not know where it's going. It might go in a completely opposite direction to where you need it to go. Just move back. You have 10 meters to put the mannequin into the tube. All right, don't pull the line. Step 4. Grab the middle of the tube or as close to the middle of the tube as you possibly can. Don't grab the end because, again, you're not in full control of the tube. Okay, next step. Okay, place the tube on the mannequin's chest. So you can see me doing that on the right-hand side, on the circle on the right-hand side. Okay, and then with the other hand, you want to be grabbing the clip, the bit that clips onto the ring. Okay, that's what you're going to be grabbing. So once the tube is in place, as in it's on the mannequin's chest, and you've got the clip end, you want to put that onto the ring, okay? You do not need to go underwater to look. You should know how the clip and the ring feels being pushed together, okay? And keep moving backwards whilst you're doing this because you've got 10 meters to secure it, all right? So, another tip. Hand placement during the clip. Your clip hand should be pronated and your ring hand should be supinated. They should be the opposites. This way, you can push the clip onto the ring, okay? They shouldn't be the same way around your hands because then you can push, as you can see here, in the hand where my watch is, I'm going to push the clip onto the ring. And much, much easier. You can't faff around as much. Right. So we're going to watch that again in full speed. So I've grabbed the chin, grabbed the tube, placed it on its chest, grab one end and the other, clip and go. Perfect. So if your athletes are struggling with this, give them all tubes, stick them in the water, get them to move backwards, grab the tube, put it in front of them, grab both sides, supinated, pronated, clip, undo it, put it behind them, and keep doing that over and over again until they know exactly what it feels like. Right. I know we're moving on quick, but the next thing we've got is the Super Lifesaver fin-ons, or the transitions. All right. So first thing we're going to do again is watch this video, and then we're going to talk about the steps and putting this into practice, because I know a lot of people struggle with this one. Right. So we'll watch that again in a minute, but we're going to watch this from an underwater angle, because this tells a whole nother story as well about what's going on underwater. Right then. So, Super Lifesaver fin-ons. My circles have not appeared at the right times, but oh well. So, first things first. First thing we're going to do is touch the wall. Okay, so we're touching the wall with whatever hand we didn't carry the mannequin in. All right, so we've touched the wall and we're going to drop the mannequin when we've touched the wall. Not before, when we've touched it. Excuse me. So, second step. With the hand you were holding the mannequin with, you are going to grab the sash. So your left hand, so in my picture, my left hand, the one that's extended in picture 1, all right, is going to stabilize me. Okay, so you've touched the wall, and then it's going to help you pull yourself up so you can put your fins and your sash on. So with the hand that you hold the mannequin with, you're going to grab the sash, all right? So you can see that with the big red circle. Circles have appeared too early again. Right, next step. I've already got hold of the sash, okay, and I'm going to grab hold of my fins. But my sash, okay, is over the top of my fins. So when I grab my fins, I can pull the sash up my arm, okay, as you can see here. Okay, and whilst I'm doing this, okay, whilst I'm putting it over my head and my shoulder, I'm going to pull my fins into the pool. All right, next step. Okay, so I've got my sash on now. And I'm going to grab fins with both of my hands now. Okay, the next step. So you've grabbed the fins, grabbing over the top to pull your fins in. Now you're going to move your hands, okay, to the heel of your fins. So you've got the heel now, just like you would do if you were kind of putting on the shoe. You grab the back, wouldn't you? And you're going to pull it on. Okay, what people think here is that you are putting your fins on. All right, so you are putting your fins on. When in reality, you are pushing your feet into your fins. That is the difference here. You're not putting your fin on, you're pushing your feet into your fins. So you've got the back, the heel, and you're going to pull your feet into the fins. It'll help a lot, okay? So imagine pushing your foot in as hard as you can. Okay? So once you pulled your fins on, ideally at the same time, you're going to spin around explosively and roll into your front and set off down the pool. All right. So I've slowed this down because this is the bit that most people find hard. They don't find putting the sash on. They find putting the fins on. So this is a short video just to show you. I've done this slowly. Okay, how you put the fins on.
Yeah.
So no sash, just the fins. So I had the top, I've grabbed the bottom, I've pushed my feet in, and away I go. So I'll play that one more time for you.
Yeah.
So grab the top, both hands, push my feet in, and away I go.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll watch from the top one more time before we move on. Perfect. Right, and last bit. So from the underwater angle, grab, sash on, fins in both hands, pull them in, and off we go. Right, we've got me going fast, we've got Callum Brennan, then we'll finish up. And away I go. And then we've got Callum Brennan. He's got his tube in a slightly different place to me, which I wouldn't recommend, but he's very fast here, so well done, Callum. Fins on super fast and he's away. So we'll play that one more time. Brilliant transition there from Callum. And last bit, before we finish off for the Q&A, where to find me. So if you're interested in in-person seminars, you can drop me an email on samorman@hotmail.co.uk. And you can find me on Instagram at samorman if you want to send me any messages if you need any help with anything, or you just want to follow my journey. And if you want to keep up with lifesaver news in Great Britain, there's a lovely page that I help run called Lifesaver News GB, and we're nearly at 1,000 followers. So thank you very much. Q&A time. Do you have any questions for George or I?